Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Morning Show with your hosts, Wayne and Gabby.
Good morning, everyone.
This thing's not even open. I'm trying to take a sip of coffee and it's not even open. This is ridiculous. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Morning Show. Well, there goes my first sip of coffee. Oh, gosh. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today's show, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be diving into all the steps that you need, or teaching you the steps that you need to learn and understand in order to buy your first rental property.
Yes, very exciting. I think that this is for new people who are starting out and wanting to become real estate investors, this can be a pivotal moment where, a lot of fear creeps in. You don't know what type of property to buy. You don't know if you're making a good decision. What if everything fails? All this insecurity really creeps in. And I think that we're really going to break things down and make it hopefully feel less terrifying when you start on this adventure.
Is that the point of today's episode? To make buying your first rental property feel less terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. It is. There are a lot of emotions with it because it's a lot of money.
It is. Yes.
It is a lot of money. And for most people that are going to be buying their first rental property, this is probably going to be all the life savings that you have. Mm-hmm. Or all of the equity that you've built maybe in your first home. You know, you saved up all your life savings to buy your first home, and then over 5 or 10 years, you developed or accumulated a significant amount of equity in your home. Someone said, hey, you should pull that equity out of your home in the form of a HELOC or something like that, and you should buy a rental property. That's how you build wealth, not by owning your own home. I mean, that helps, but let's buy a rental property as well. And you're going to use all of the equity that you've accumulated through paying down your mortgage and through the value of your home going up. Now you're going to take all of that super, super valuable equity, all that hard work, and you're going to put it into something like buying a rental property. Yeah, that could be absolutely freaking terrifying because you don't know. I remember. I mean, I was a pretty confident cat. When it came to it, maybe I don't know if I was actually qualified, but I was definitely confident.
Yes, that's a fact. Yes, you didn't lack confidence, and I was the polar opposite. I wasn't confident.
What cat were you?
I wasn't confident or competent.
She wasn't competent cat or
I was a scaredy
confident cat. You were scaredy cat. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to hopefully help you out today and make it less scary. And maybe you could become a confident and competent cat today.
Was that hard to say?
Yeah, it is hard to say.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
We got some live listeners joining us today. We are broadcasting live on YouTube. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast, you can look at us live in person. We're here. I'm wearing a cool sweater today. It says, have you tried trying?
Yes.
If you're looking at buying your first rental property and you're scared and you're and you don't know what to do, my question to you is, have you tried trying? Perhaps maybe today's the day. Today's the day you buy your first rental property.
Yes.
Who do we got joining us
Wayne,
live?
it's funny because I just was reading the comments, and I guess your mic is covering the first part of trying. And so Kristen's in the comment here, and it's like, have I tried what? Lying, dying, frying?
Have you tried crying?
There you go.
That's
have you
hilarious.
Tried trying? Yeah.
Good morning, Kirsten. Chris is here as well. He says, fundamentals, baby.
Yes, with a vanilla ice cream cone.
With a vanilla ice cream cone.
Love
yeah,
it.
it's so in what he means by the vanilla is we teach vanilla. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the complicated seller financing, advanced strategies. I love raising capital. I love fix and flips. I love leverage is what I love. I love just leveraging it to the max and getting the most profits possible with the least amount of risk. I love it, baby. Okay. But what I've learned over the years is that you don't need to overcomplicate real estate investing. You just need to keep it simple. Mm-hmm. Simple vanilla. And so that's what Chris is talking about today. And that's what we want to teach you today. We want to just get down to the basics of just buying your first rental property. We're going to focus on the basic fundamentals of this so you can just get your foot in the door and get your feet wet, right? Because I get it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of noise out there right now. There's a lot of cool, fun gimmicks that everybody wants to teach you to get into it for zero money and to leverage and to maximize things. But when you're getting started, you don't want to do that right away. You don't want to overcomplicate things in the beginning, because the more you overcomplicate it, the more likely you are to probably mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I talk about the Boulevard of Broken Dreams a lot. Not the Green Day song. It's the real estate investor Boulevard of Broken Dreams, where we get all these people that are so excited with these beautiful dreams of creating freedom and spending more time with their family, and then it doesn't work out because they overcomplicated things. I see Fabian, he's in the chat here. He says nuts and bolts. Yes.
Nuts and bolts. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey. What are you doing up there?
I'm adjusting some things on my screen. I thought you were just going to open your mouth and talk.
Oh. I didn't know it happened.
No, just adjusting the screen a little bit just so I can see better.
Okay.
Okay, so.
You got something cool coming up, Wayne.
I do?
Yes, you do. Next Wednesday, Wayne is going to be...
Next Wednesday?
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Next Wednesday.
What day is it today?
May 13th. So assuming that that's next Wednesday, Wayne is guest speaking at the AREA event. So that's the Edmonton Real Estate Investors Association.
Yes.
Hope I got that right. Yeah, so you're going to be guest speaking there next Wednesday night, and you guys are talking about like what's real in the Edmonton market right now.
Yeah.
What's happening, what's working, what are the best opportunities, and really digging into that.
Yeah, it's we're doing a fireside chat. So they've asked me to come and speak, do a fireside chat, something a little bit more, I mean, formal, obviously, but not, I don't want to say informal, but more of a less structured. It's not a presentation. And I don't like doing presentations anyways. I like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like speaking honestly and authentically. I find that as soon as you start putting up slides on the screen, it's like you're just reading off the screen and it's not really you. So I don't like doing presentations. I don't find that they're real. I find that it's just almost as if there's an agenda and you just got to stick to the slides and then whatever the pitch is at the end. Fireside chat allows me to be more of myself and allows me to speak more, like I said, authentically. And there are some really, really cool things going on in the Edmonton real estate market right now. Really cool things going on. And I'm hoping to share those with you guys as much as possible. We do this every day. But there's a lot that, we don't talk about on the podcast. And I think that, one of the reasons for that is that this is a Canadian-wide podcast. We have a heavy focus on the Edmonton market. That's where we invest. That's where we live. And it's also arguably the best real estate market in Canada. I would say it's actually up there. No, I'm going to say this real fast. It's actually one of the best markets in North America. Because I've looked at the U.S., I haven't seen anything that's come close to Edmonton as far as the opportunities that we have with the way that we teach the fundamentals and the cash flow test, all the criteria that we look for in a solid market for buying rental properties. I haven't found many, if any, in the U.S., right? And not to mention the fact that we get really, really great financing here in Canada. Screw what everybody says about the U.S. financing being better. No, Canada, we have the best for us. So I think that's why we talk a lot about Edmonton on the podcast. But I also try and be fair on the podcast because there are people listening from other markets. And I try and be as, not generic, but make it a little bit more generalized so that way it applies to everyone. And with the fireside chat coming up next Wednesday at the Edmonton Real Estate Investors Association meetup, I'm going to be diving a lot more deeper into Edmonton for the locals.
Yeah. Because
the locals want to know where the good spots are. The locals want to know where the great opportunities are. And the local Edmonton real estate investors also want to know what's coming. What does the future hold? And I know what the future holds. I've been able to, I study history. I study real estate history. It's kind of a nerdy thing that I do, right? And I've seen what's worked in the past and what's happened in the past and the reasons for that. So it enables me to be able to see what's coming for the future. And there are some tremendous opportunities in the Edmonton market coming here in the future.
Yeah. I think that I think it's a really good opportunity if you're here local to Edmonton or even nearby and Edmonton is a market that you're interested in. Or even if maybe you're investing in a different market, maybe you're in Calgary and you're investing in Calgary, but to come out and see Wayne speak about the opportunities and how he how he does that analysis of the market to determine what's working and what isn't working. I think that's really cool to get to witness. I mean, I get to see it every day, which is super cool for me. But it's really an opportunity for you guys to see how this works on Wayne and how he analyzes the market and what's going on and what opportunities are coming, what opportunities are here, what opportunities aren't working anymore. Maybe they were, as soon as just like a few months ago, but they're on their way out. I think that that's really valuable information. And so I'm excited. I think that I'm going to be able to come this time, which I haven't been to one of these in a really long time.
Oh.
Yeah. So hopefully that all aligns. But yeah, I hope to see a whole bunch of people there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Really great to see. And if you're new to real estate investing as well, this would be a tremendous. We're going to love to see the people that we know that we've networked with for many years, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the familiar faces. But if you're a newer investor and you're a little concerned about buying your first rental property, this is one of those ones that you're not going to want to miss, because there will be no filter. There will be no filter. This will allow me to speak freely. It's a space where I can speak freely and speak to local investors and really just provide as much value as possible. And I think it's only like $20 to get in or something like that. It's not that not that much. This will, if you're on the fence, if you don't really know, maybe by the end of this episode, you really, you're really sold on the idea of buying your first rental property and you're in the Edmonton area and you want to buy it in Edmonton, that fireside chat is definitely going to be one that you're not going to want to miss, because it's really, who knows? I mean, maybe you're ready right now to buy and you're going to learn all about what's working right now, but maybe you're still 6 months to a year away from buying your first rental property. And again, you're going to learn everything you need to know about what's coming as well. There are amazing opportunities right now, and I can tell you there are even more amazing opportunities coming around the corner as well. So this is one of those moments that makes sense to swear. We are in a fucking phenomenal time to be investing in Edmonton right now. Phenomenal. I'm not saying that lightly. We had a really great opportunity in 2022 and 2023. Okay. And that opportunity went away. We had a really good opportunity in 2021 as well. Different opportunities. And that went away. The opportunity that we have right now in spring, summer of 2026 is phenomenal. And the opportunity that's going to be coming in late 2026 and into 2027, even better. You got to be there to learn how to take advantage of those opportunities. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there.
What is that?
That's excited.
Oh, okay.
That's excited.
Cute little dance.
And the people get to see.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little commercial break. I'm going to read over what's going on in the chat here. The chat is blowing up this morning. If you guys want to be here with us live on YouTube, all you got to do is just go look me up on YouTube, Wayne Hillier. It's that simple. And we go live every morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. I did see a quick question I'm going to answer really quickly before we take a break. And that was that someone had asked, will you guys be saving the live shows to YouTube or just the usual audio platforms? No, like you can rewatch the live streams immediately after the live stream is done, 8 a.m. Mountain Time. it gets sent off to the editor, and the editor edits it, and then it gets sent out to YouTube polished sometime around like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we're trying to get it out every day. So even if you miss the live show in the morning, you can catch it on your way home at work. That's the goal. Okay. So yes, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Wayne Hillier. And don't forget to smash that like and hit that bell for all notifications of when it comes live. You got to say it. I mean, well, if you don't do it, then you're not going to get notified. Yeah. Right?
For sure.
And it's not just these live podcast episodes that we're throwing in here as well. We're throwing in other education, other videos as well. So you're going to learn a ton, right? I'm done with hundreds of hours of audio podcasts just floating off into nowhere land once they're done. Everything is recorded in video now. Now you have the opportunity to see it and rewatch it, right? To get all of this amazing content, all this amazing education, consume it, learn, retain it, so that you can take it and take action today, right? That's what we want. Anything we can do to help you guys take action. Anything you need, any way you want it, you just tell us. We're here for you guys. We're going to give you the education, to give you the confidence and the clarity to be able to go and take action. Okay. Quick little commercial break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk to you, or we're going to share with you the steps you need to understand how to buy your first rental property. We'll be right back.
You are a professional real estate investor. You are not a professional boxer. And you are definitely not a professional bookkeeper. Enter Fingo. Fingo is a professional bookkeeping service by and for professional real estate investors. Your life just got a whole lot easier, and your profits are ready to soar. Leave the bookkeeping to Fingo so you can focus on what's most important, finding the next deal and raising money for it. Schedule your free consultation at fingo.com.
Wayne, super quickly,
Yeah.
Manny in the live chat was asking about the AREA event, whether it was just live in person or if it's recorded, or you can join
Live in person.
Just live in person.
That's the thing. that message self-destructs immediately afterwards. You have to be in the room. That's what I was saying, is that like
I like that. Self-destructs. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's literally, I'm going to do a smoke bomb and then I'm going to disappear.
Just make sure that I'm in the smoke bomb too, so you don't leave me there.
To clean up. Yeah, as soon as the smoke bomb goes, it's just like, that's it. The message goes. It's the you have to be there in order, otherwise it'll, it's just words of legend after that. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Anyways, yes, it's just going to be for those that are in the room. And that's what I told the folks at AREA, that like, I want to provide as much value as possible. And I want the people in that room to be able to be the only ones that gets it. So if you want to hear what's going on up here, you have to be there. Does that sound fair? Why is everything got to be free online these days? Why is everything got to be recorded? Whatever happened to a little bit of urgency and a little bit of commitment? You know what I mean?
And like the FOMO is actually real here.
Yeah, there's no such thing as FOMO anymore. There's always another option. No, this is one of those cases where it's like, no, you have to be in the room to understand it. And I hope that I've proven myself enough over the last however many years.
I think you definitely have.
I hope I have. I haven't been wrong about anything. Never messed anything up. Never led anyone in the wrong direction. Never will. Our goal, again, I said it a million times, I'll say it again, is to help you build the confidence and the clarity to be able to go and take action. Right? Action is the only thing that actually gets you to where, is the only thing that's going to create motion, right? Because you can talk about this, you can learn about this, you can listen about this, you can watch this for as many times, as many hours as you can, but the actual action is the motion of it is what's going to get you to actually progression. Now, what can I do in order to give you the confidence in order to take the action? That's what we're all about. And the last thing I want to do is to give you confidence to do something that's not in your best interest. I got a legacy to uphold here. I got a streak. I got a record. I'm batting 100. You know what I mean? In this game, not just in my own personal portfolio, but in everything that I teach. I'm batting 100 right now. I am not ruining that perfect streak.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm about to pitch a perfect game, baby. Like, I'm not going to ruin that. So everything that I teach is, as Chris said earlier, vanilla. And yet, even though it's boring vanilla, it still tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm very much dedicated to making sure that everyone is getting good, solid education that's safe. That's what it's all about with us. Is making sure that I do not want you to do anything that's going to jeopardize your dreams. This whole Boulevard of Broken Dreams thing,
Yeah.
it really bothers me.
Yeah.
It really bothers me.
In the comments here, Fabian says, you guys always pull strategies out of your hat. It's like the magician that pulls endless things to do, but for real estate. And he said, since we joined the REI Masters program, nonstop learning.
Who's that? Sorry. Fabian.
Fabian.
Oh, that's amazing. It's good to hear.
He's the magician.
All right. So let's talk about buying your first rental property.
Let's do it. This is really an extension from yesterday's podcast. We were talking a lot about tenant profile, like who are you trying to attract? What kind of tenant do you want? And we talked a lot about, families and, you know, how they tend to be kind of like that rooted long-term tenant that lots of us who do want to invest the vanilla way, the boring, profitable way.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want long-term tenants who are going to stay a long time and are going to help us run a profitable and boring business. And so extending off of that into today's show, talking about buying that rental property, I think that's really, something that we need to keep in mind is what kind of properties do we want to buy that are going to produce those types of results and attract those types of people?
Yeah, and yesterday's shows, the theme was all about beginning with the end in mind, really establishing who am I serving here. I'm starting a business, but before you start any business, it's not about the product or the service first. It's about who am I selling it to? What problem am I solving here? And you have to think about who wants to buy this, or what does my target client or my tenant profile, what do they want? And I need to figure out what are all those items. We talked about the 5 must-have features, or the 5 desirable features that every tenant is looking for. And if we can, okay, this is the type of person that I want to sell to, and these are the types of features that they're looking for. How do I go about building a business or a service or a product around this, right? And I'm going to try and hopefully check off as many of those boxes on their checklist as I can to propose or to present a desirable product that they're going to want to buy, or in this case, rent. Right? So we've established who our target tenant profile is, whatever that may be for you. Now that you have that information, now it's about trying to figure out, where do I find a product like this, a rental property like this that checks those boxes, that is profitable and is low risk? Because I tell you, I think we used the example yesterday, the $947,000 house that's got a double attached garage. It's 2,200 square feet. It's got a walkout basement, walkout to a lake. You know what I mean? And it's got all the features and the fire pit and everything else. It's even got 16 bedrooms. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's got an open concept kitchen that's twice as big as it needs to be. Everything is perfect.
Chef's kitchen.
Chef's kitchen, chef's kiss. Yes. But when you purchase the property, what are you going to be able to rent it out for? What's the market call for? And what does the real estate market look like for a property like that? What's the demand for a property like that? So you have to think about this. One, will it be does this property have in this market, this property in this particular market or neighborhood, does it have potential for growth in value? Does it have potential to go up in value over time? Because obviously we're running a business, but at the same time, we hope that the asset and the land that it's on will go up in value based off of the demand for it. So there needs to be demand for that type of property and a potential for growth for that type of property in that market over the long term. That's where we're going to make the most of our profits. If we hold this property for the next 20 years and we plan to hold it long term, when you finally sell that property in the future and you break down all of your profits from your appreciation, your mortgage pay down, and your cash flow, you will notice that the value growth, the appreciation will take up the biggest chunk of that pie, of that profits. Okay? So that is important. You need to consider it. It's not guaranteed, but it's a very important consideration. So we want to buy in a market that has, and we want to buy a property in that market that has a strong potential for growth and value. And the business we operate in this property needs to be self-sufficient. It needs to be sustainable. You can buy the perfect property for a tenant, and you could buy it in the perfect market, the perfect type of property that has huge potential for growth. But if it doesn't function as a cash flowing rental property, if it doesn't cover the expenses and some every single month, you're going to be bleeding out underneath, and it will not be sustainable. You will not be able to hold that property for 20 years. Maybe you've got an extra 200, maybe you're wealthy. Maybe you have a really good job and you make over $300,000 a year, and you barely even spend that money, and you can afford to cover that property every month. Maybe you can. But can you forever? Can you for the next 20 years? Can you say with certainty that your job is so incredibly secure that you will always be able to? And then what happens when something happens that's outside of your control? What happens when interest rates go up? You're telling me that you believe that interest rates are going to stay exactly where they are, where they've been for the next 20 years without any fluctuations? You think that? You sure about that? You sure about that? And you're telling me there will not be any global conflicts in the world in the next 20 years that will not come in to your property and to your business? You sure about that? And you're telling me that the rental market as it is right now, the supply and the demand of rental properties in your market, in said market, will not fluctuate at all in the next 20 years? This is not how the world works, and this is not how a real estate market works, and this is not how the rental market works. It goes like this. And what you need to do is you need to build, your business needs to be like a ship. And if you think that you're going to set course and you're going to go out to the open waters for 20 years, you want to build a ship that can last, right? You want to build something that's not going to leak, that's not going to capsize at the first big wave that comes in and tries to knock you over. Because there will be storms. And those storms are going to be unpredictable. That's the one thing that I cannot predict. I can tell you what's coming for opportunities, but I cannot tell you what's going to happen in the real estate market or the rental market, because there are so many outside factors that affect all of this. So you need to buy in a market that has strong potential for growth. But then at the same time, this property that you buy needs to be sustainable. And the best way to be sustainable, to be able to ride out those storms, is to have as much cash flow as possible. That cash flow is your cushion. That is what protects you. That extra cash flow every month, if you have an extra $500 worth of cash flow, say for example, and rents drop by $300, you're okay. You still have $200 worth of cushion there. If interest rates go up, it's okay. You still have that cushion there. That cash flow cushion is what protects you. So you need to have strong cash flow. So that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on something that actually tenants want. You need to focus on buying in a market and a property in a market that has high potential for growth. And you need to make sure it has strong cash flow to weather all of the terrible shitstorms that are coming your way.
I think that to really simplify what you just said there, Wayne, because that was a lot of information and a lot of considerations, and all extremely important. And I'm glad that you dove into it the way that you did. But I think if we look at it in a really simple way, I think we need to remember that we're not buying a home. This isn't a forever home that, we're going to go and pick out all the bells and whistles, and we're going to make sure that it has like some crazy features and the most optimal layout and all of the coolest colors. And you know what I mean? Like, we're not going and buying a home. We're buying a property that appeals to the masses, that will function well as a home for somebody, but that is just something that's going to operate well as a rental business. And I think that so many people, when they're starting out in real estate investing, that's a hard disconnect for them to make, is kind of like separating what they think they've always wanted, what they really think are important features in their forever home, and really separating those things and being like, okay, this isn't a home. This isn't for me, right? I think we talked a little bit yesterday on the podcast about like, how the emotion of like what we want. And we think that what we want is kind of like what everybody wants, but what I want is different from what you want, and from what you want and you want and you want. We all like different things. We all have different emotional attachment to different things in a home. So we need to separate that and remember that what we want doesn't matter here.
Yeah.
It's appealing to a broad audience, right? And just making sure that we kind of like simplify that and what we're looking for in a rental property.
Let me be completely honest with you. I would never, ever live in any of the rental properties that I buy right now. I'm not interested. They do not fit what I'm looking for from me and my family. I don't like the areas. I don't like the property types. I don't like the finishings. I don't like anything about the rental properties. I would never live in them myself. But I'm not running this business to sell to me. I'm running this business to sell to somebody else. I am filling a void. I am fulfilling a need and a demand for someone else who is looking for something else. And most of the rental properties that I'm purchasing are based around affordability. We're focusing simplicity, affordability, and really that lower middle class, period. There was no other word for doing after that. Lower middle class, to really service the lower middle class. And that's mostly based off of affordability, because if they had more money and the affordability was better, they would rent something significantly nicer and bigger.
Yes.
That's just the truth. And it's not something that people want to talk about, but I'm here it is. I'm real, and I'm right here with you. I'm telling you what you need to hear. And this is what a lot of people struggle with. They're like, oh my God, I almost feel like I could do better. I could buy something nicer. They can't. The people that you are servicing cannot afford that. It's an affordability thing, right? So really, you have to take your emotions out of this and really just focus in on the business side of it. And this is who I'm servicing. This is what they can afford. I'm going to go and I'm going to provide them a safe, clean option for them based on their affordability, right? Think of it like a car. You know what I mean? The dealership could sell the prettiest model, the highest end model for less and make less. They could, or they can sell the base model. I don't know if you've ever been in a rental car recently. See, I haven't bought a base model anything ever. And when you get to the airport and you're like, oh, we'll just get the Chevy Impala, and you go in there and it's like, what is this peasantry? Like, it's almost like you have to like crank the window open. It's like, what is this? Nothing. Where? You know what I mean? And I think there's a standard, an expectation for so much more these days. And vehicles are a great example of it. And that's kind of the same thing with rental properties. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for every market and every opportunity now, before, and in the future. But I'm saying right now, the types of properties that I buy right now are the Chevy Impalas, the 2016 Chevy Impalas of the rental market, right? And I'm just saying, I would never live there myself, but this isn't for me, right? And you really need to detach yourself and your emotions around it, away from it, and just say, hey, I am just servicing this particular group of people, and this is what they want, and this is what they can afford. And it's really important to do that because, like you had said, there's a lot of people that like struggle with this.
Yeah.
And a lot of our students in the REI Masters Mentorship Program are struggling with this right now, where they're like over renovating things. And I'm over here and be like, don't do that. Don't renovate that. No, you're spending too much money. This is not good business practice. This is not a good use of your investment funds. You are overspending and you are affecting your returns. But they're like, it's just this. It's only $200. It's $200. $200. It's only this. I'm going to do it myself. Are you here to provide charity, or are you here to make money?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear the capitalists say, are you here? Nobody wants to hear that question, but that's the truth. Why did you buy it in the first place? Why did you decide you wanted to invest in the first place? To make money, to get the best returns. Pull the emotions out of it, please.
Yeah.
Now that you've established what type of property that you're going to be buying and the market that you're going to be buying it in, who you're going to be servicing, you should have all of your criteria written down on a list. You should be able to really just nail it down on, like, this is the type of property I'm buying in this neighborhood, in this city, in this price range. Before you go and start looking at properties, you should probably ring up your favorite mortgage broker and ask them, hey, am I pre-qualified for a property like this? Maybe not pre-qualified so much, or pre-approved, but just like, hey, based on my figures, how much money I have, what my income is, am I green light? Am I good to go and start writing offers? You don't want a pre-approval because that's going to take a ding on your credit score. It's a hard hit on your credit report. You don't want that. But a mortgage broker can run the numbers roughly and just say, okay, based on all this, you're probably at like an 80 to 90% chance of being approved by some lender. So you want that confidence to know that, am I good to go and start writing offers? So go and talk to your mortgage broker, verify that you're approved, you should be approved, before you go and start looking at properties.
Wayne, I'd say that this is actually, talking to a mortgage broker is, I think, the earlier in this process that you can at least have a conversation with a mortgage broker, the better, because maybe you have it in your head that you're going to be buying, I don't know, like a certain asset type. And maybe it's like, that this certain asset type costs a certain amount of money. And that's kind of what you base everything on. You're like, okay, this is going to attract this type of tenant. That's what I want. I want it to produce this much cash flow and it's going to be great. But then you talk to a mortgage broker and maybe they bring you back down to earth and they're like, no, based on what you make and this and that and all the other things that go into getting a mortgage approval, which we know can be a lot. Maybe they say, realistically, you're probably only going to be approved around this amount purchase price. And so maybe that takes you out of the asset type that you had planned and kind of counted on. And maybe you need to kind of readjust the plan and what you were expecting. And I'm not saying that, now you can't invest in real estate, but maybe you need to adjust the plan. Right. Yeah. And so I think the earlier that you do this, when you're trying to figure out, your whole buy box and the plan and your investment strategy, the better, because you can formulate a plan based on your realistic qualifiability early on. And then it's not like, okay, you build out this whole plan, you have this whole thing, in a neat little package here. And then you're like, oh, but before I put in offers, I should call up my mortgage broker. And then at that point, you're getting like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
Now you're having to go back and start again.
Right.
Right. So I think the earlier that you can have this conversation with the mortgage broker, the better. But like Wayne said, don't go and get like a pre-approval and get everything, like all solidified early on, because you need to, the rest of figuring it all out is going to take time to get to the point where you're going to start making offers and looking at properties.
Yeah.
So, but have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. And once you've got that all figured out, now you can go and reach out to your realtor, right? Yeah. And I think scrolling on the MLS or whatever website you're scrolling through, it's kind of, I don't know, I find it to be unorganized. I think that if you know exactly what the criteria is for the types of properties that you're looking for, scrolling and trying to find them yourself on realtor.ca is not the most efficient way to do it. What you should be doing is reaching out to an investor-focused realtor, having a conversation with them, and outlining all of the criteria that you are looking for in your property and in the area. What they're going to do for you is they're going to pull it up. They're going to pull up their program, and they're going to type in all of the information, the criteria that you explained to them, and they're going to set it. And then immediately, all of the listings that are currently available that fit your criteria will be automatically emailed to you. And then all other new listings that come up, that become available, will automatically get emailed to you as well. That's the most efficient way. Why are you out spending hours scrolling trying to find it when it can automatically be emailed to you within seconds of becoming live? Then, if you get that notification right away, you can call up your realtor and be like, hey, one just came available, I need to go see it, right? So you can beat everybody else to it. Instead of waiting until later on in the evening when the kids have gone to bed, then you're going to scroll and try to randomly find something. You're 9 hours behind me. I already got it this morning. I've already seen it and I've already written an offer. You're going to lose. And if it's a really good deal, you're going to lose to other faster, more efficient and productive investors. So you have to get it. It's a non-negotiable there. I don't know why anybody would do it the other way. You're never going to get a good deal, and you're never going to get the properties that you want. You're always going to be fighting others because you're too slow. So a realtor, by the way, you don't pay a realtor in this transaction. The seller pays the realtor. So find an investor-focused realtor who's willing to put the work in for you, that's willing to go and take you when you say, I need to go, and to work quickly with you to help you get those deals. Find someone who's willing to work hard for you and to drop everything they're doing to do that for you, because you don't even need to pay them. It's free. It's a free service. Again, I'm just going to repeat this again. Now that you understand this is a free service and they're willing to help you expedite this process so you can get the best deals, why in God's name are you scrolling realtor.ca? I never understand when people are like, oh, I'm scrolling deals today. I'm like, why? What? Answer this question for me. You're either incredibly unorganized, or you just don't like. I had an answer to that. Do you ever just lose your train of thought? Oh my God. I completely lost my train of thought. I was so caught up in it.
It was very passionate.
It was very passionate. I had a really good point to make there, and I completely lost my train of thought. Well, there goes that clip. It just seems so ridiculous to me that like you would do that, because you're either dumb or you're dumb. I guess it was dumb or something else. I can't remember. It was either dumb or it's dumb or dumb. You're either dumb or you're dumber. Dumber, you're dumber. It just doesn't make any sense to me why you would do that when you know that there's a faster, more efficient way of doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just does not make any sense to me why anyone would do that, because it's free.
Yeah. I think that what, maybe if we can say it in a nicer way, Wayne, is that if you have your criteria, which you should, we've established that you should have a criteria. You should know what type of tenant you're trying to attract.
Thank you. Can I just say?
Sure, go ahead.
Or you don't know what the fuck you want.
Yes.
That's what it was. You're either dumb because you know that there's a faster, more efficient way of doing it, or you have no fucking clue what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a great clip.
Yeah, but that's really what it comes down to, is that you need to know the criteria. And that is so important if you're going to be investing in real estate, is that you need to know the criteria that you're looking for, because it's really going to solidify your strategy. And if you know the tenant profile that you're looking for, and that your property is going to attract, right? We
Yeah.
talked all about how you need to attract that tenant profile with the property that you have. Then you're going to know how many bedrooms it has. You're going to know that it has a fenced in yard for the kids and the dogs. You're going to know that it needs to have 1.5 bathrooms at least. You're going to know that the types of neighborhoods that it's going to be in. You're going to know that it's going to be close to schools and amenities and all those things. You're going to have that all figured out already. So you're going to be able to go to your realtor with a nice little package with a nice bow tied on top that says, I'm looking for this, 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 and this, and it's going to be in these areas around the city. And no, I do not want that area up there. And you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be able to really bring them this nice package that they're just going to go click, 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 click. Okay, they're on their way to you, and anything else that comes up is going to be sent to you. So if you don't have that criteria solidified and nailed down, and you don't know what you're looking for, then of course you're going to be scrolling and you're going to be getting all these random listings because you didn't give your realtor something solid to go off of. So if you want to be successful in finding these properties and these opportunities, you really need to know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'll just add one thing, and it doesn't add any value to this episode, but I just want to say it because I like to rant. Again, if you're sitting around scrolling realtor.ca looking for properties, you're wasting time.
Yeah.
And you get into this whole real estate investing thing to invest to create freedom. Most people are trying to create some form of freedom for something, freedom
Hell
for the
yeah.
future, freedom for now, whatever it may be. Why in God's name are you sitting there on the couch or in your bed like that and ignoring your kids, ignoring your wife? You pathetic piece of shit. Your wife's crawling on you. She's like, honey, come on, come over here, come to bed. And you're just like, let me just scroll a few more. I just want to find a rental property. Like, you pathetic piece of shit. Like, what are you doing wasting time? Like, Mom, what are you doing ignoring your kid? Like, I do not understand when people say that I'm like scrolling realtor.ca looking for deals. I'm like, how unorganized and stupid are you? Are you dumb or you're dumber? Like, I just don't get it. This should not take up that much time. You need to get clear on what it is that you want, solidify it, stamp it, and get other people to do the work for you. Get your power team. Get your realtor to go do that.
For free.
For free. And it's all automated anyways. All you got to do is you go, pa-ping, you see it. I do this every day. I get about 2 dings a day. Okay? And I'll just be in the middle of, I got one last night, in the middle of, I'm coaching my daughter's soccer team. And I felt a notification. I pulled my phone out real fast. I saw it was a notification for a listing. I quickly clicked on the email, opened it up. It only took me about 4 seconds. I looked at it very fast. I'm like, does that fit the criteria? Nope. Can't put it back in my pocket. If it did, I would have quickly went like, hey Siri, text the realtor, tell them I want to see this tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Easy. It's that simple. Go back to your life. Go back to coaching your kid's soccer game or your kid's soccer practice. Go back to, washing your baby's hair in the bathtub. Like, whatever it is that you're doing. This shouldn't consume your life. This should be completely, your team is the one that's supposed to take care of everything. You're supposed to be the one driving the ship. Like, you're the visionary. You're the one that determines where it is that you're going. And then you have a whole crew on your ship. Let's put it this way. If you're setting sail, out into the open seas, does the captain do everything on the ship? Or do they have a whole crew that takes care of everything? Let your crew do the work. Okay? Let them take care of those things. You've already established the destination. Let them figure out how we're going to get there. All right? You go take a nap. Okay? Or go have a bottle of rum, whatever it is. Okay, so now you got to figure it out. Now you got all these listings and stuff. Now you found a listing, you write an offer. Voila, and guess what? Maybe, I don't know, maybe it got accepted. You have an accepted offer. It's a conditional offer. You're going to write it with conditions. You're going to make sure that your offer is conditional to a home inspection and to financing, because you don't have financing guaranteed, remember. So you have to go back to the mortgage broker now and be like, okay, now I have an accepted offer. It's conditional for 2 weeks. Can you please go and find me a lender that will lend to me with reasonable terms for this purchase? Now you have an actual deal. Now you can actually go and get approval. Okay. So let them do their thing. Here you go. Email it off to them. Let them do their thing for the next week and a half. Done. Pass it off to that crew member. Next thing you want to do, you want to call up your home inspector. You call up your home inspector, say, hey, I've got a property. It's conditional. I'd like to get an inspection on it. I'd like to do my diligence. Not a problem, fam. Home inspector says, I'll be there in 4 days. Let them do their thing. Right? That's it. Go back to whatever it is that you're doing. Go back to the soccer practice. Go back to the baseball game. Go back to watching the Oilers. Whatever. Ooh, touchy subject.
There might be depending on the type of property that you're looking at, there could be other things like a condo doc review if you're looking at a condominium.
So you get your condo docs, and who do you send it off to?
Condo doc review company.
There you go. Let them do it. Right?
All your shipmates.
See, what did you say?
Shipmates.
Oh, shipmates. Sorry. If you want your crew to respect and to do the work, I wouldn't call them.
Don't call them names.
Don't call them shipmates.
Don't call them names.
Shipmates? Anyways.
Enunciate your P's so they don't sound like T's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Enunciation.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's lots of diligence that happens in that conditions period, but like Wayne really drilled in is that you have people to do it. You don't need to do it yourself, right? And, some of these services are going to cost you money. They're not all free, like your realtor finding you the property. But it's so important because in this process, you might find things either through your condo doc review or through your inspection that either gives you ammunition to come back and get an improved price.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to get those situations where it's like, oh, something needs to be addressed. So in order for me to address that when I take possession of this property, I want you to give me a better price, right? So there's situations like that might come up. Or there's situations where you might want to walk away from the deal, right? And so it's really important that you don't forego things like inspections or condo doc reviews because yes, you're spending a bit of money up front, but it might have saved you a huge cost down the road, right? Like something crazy with the inspection. Maybe there's some really bad foundation stuff that was discovered that had you not got the inspection, you would have been hit with a $30,000, needing to do some crazy foundation repairs. Yeah. Or maybe in the condo doc review, they found some massive special assessment coming down the road, right? Yeah. So you just need to really... Not
every property has condo docs, though, yes. Right? So this is just I would say more importantly, I think with the home inspection, you just want to make sure that, to be honest with you, when I'm looking at a home inspection, I'm not looking at like, oh, I need to walk away from this place. I'm looking at it like, okay, how do I renegotiate this price in order to take that into account? Because even a furnace, like the furnace is shot, it's a $7,500 furnace. You just go and renegotiate $8,000 off the price. Yeah. I'll just replace the furnace, right? As long as this property checks all the boxes of what I'm looking for. In most cases, it's just about renegotiating. Yeah. And sometimes, actually, some things aren't even all that bad to me. You see, what would scare most people, and that's what I look for. I look for the types of things that would scare most buyers or even maybe intimidate most sellers. And I exaggerate it, be like, oh, this is a huge problem. And then in a lot of cases, I get more off the price than the actual value of repairing it. And I've done that many times. Yeah. The home inspection is less about me being like, oh, well, I shouldn't buy this. It's more about how do I leverage these things that would scare most people to get a better price, right? It's a negotiation tool. Right. So it is due diligence in a sense. And most people, home buyers, they look at it and be like, oh my gosh, all of the electrical plates are all cracked. Oh my gosh, none of the lights match. Oh my gosh, the screen door's broken. I want to buy one that's turnkey.
Yeah.
And I know that most of the people that are offering, that are putting in offers on this property are probably doing that, and the seller's like, oh, and then I come along and it's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's okay, I'll take it as is, but this is the price that I want, right? So I use it as a negotiation tool. Condo doc review, home inspection, any of the due diligence. That's ammunition to get the best possible price, right? Okay. Once you've done that diligence, that would be the point in which, by the end of the 2-week condition period, you either say, no, thank you, I'm not waiving my conditions, or you waive your conditions, and then it becomes a complete unconditional offer. Up until that point, you had a conditional offer based on the conditions of home inspection, and financing. But if you got the financing confirmed and you feel confident with the diligence, then you would remove those conditions. It becomes an unconditional offer. And then you would email that offer, that paperwork, off to your lawyer, the next person on your power team. The lawyer is going to take the paperwork. They're going to contact your lender and make arrangements to have the financing set up on the closing date. And the only thing that needs to get done at that point, between then and possession, is a few little minor things that you need to get it set up, like insurance and utilities and setting, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Those type of stuff to be ready for day one. But otherwise, you're just waiting for the lawyer, and then the lawyer will contact you to set up a date for you to go and sign the mortgage documents at the lawyer's office. That's it.
Voila.
Pretty simple. And that's what we're trying to share here is that, and I spent a lot of time kind of really being like, why are you doing all this stuff? That's so dumb and dumber. This is not as scary as what you think. It's just you've never done it before. Mm-hmm. And then once you do it once, you're going to realize this is actually really simple, and I could do this again. If we have the money and the financing, I imagine if we had 4 of these things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that first time around, it can be overwhelming. It can be emotional because you've just never done it before. It's the fear, it's the uncertainty of it, which is scaring you. But if you re-listen to this episode, if you re-watch this episode on YouTube, you're going to realize that, like, oh, that's it? That's all it takes in order to buy a rental property? It's actually not all that bad. But the next step, and what we're going to be covering on tomorrow's show, which is even more important to your business. Now you've got the business. Now you've got the property. The next step is, how do I get the clients in the door? How do I get my tenant signed on a lease? And that's what we're going to be covering on tomorrow's show. We're going to be talking about how to choose a tenant. You already know the type of tenant you're looking for. You've already got all that criteria all figured out. You know your tenant profile. How do I find them? How do I screen them? And how do I secure them? That's what we're going to be talking about on tomorrow's show. So thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys all live tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Mountain Time on YouTube.
Thanks for listening. Want to be coached personally by Wayne and Gabby? Then you should join the Real Estate Investing Masters Mentorship Program. Details are in the show notes to get started.